James for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. You good?
Yeah, good.
All right, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with the one and only Joseph El Bendito, Macedo, diamond in the rough, good prospects with bantamweight. Joseph, we've been in camp with Angelo. I've been knowing you for some time now. I mean, not like this, but I knew who you were years ago when I seen you spar at Johnny Toccos 2017,
yes,
Alex Steele.
Yes,
you remember? What do you remember about all that?
Man, I remember a lot. I came up in Toccos. Johnny Toccos is, will always hold a special place in my heart. And I remember when you came through to the gym, you seemed like a real genuine guy, and here we are today, back in connection.
And it comes full circle, right? Because we have a mutual friend, Angelo Leo. He's getting ready to fight the world title for the world title against Venado Lopez here in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
You sparred him a bunch, and now we're here in camp. But
yes,
before we even get into Angelo or any of that stuff, sparring him and whatnot, I wanted you to tell people about like your current situation as a fighter. I know you're 6-0, 122-pound prospect.
Yes,
what's going on with your career?
I'm doing good, man. I'm always grinding. I'm always in the gym. I'm not as active as I want to be in my career. Just situations, out of my control. No promoter, no manager, not signed. Been coming up, the tough way, the rough way. But right now, I'm actually competing in the TCL Team Combat League. So that's been giving me a little bit of exposure, staying busy, good experience, fighting good guys. So I've been doing my thing, man. I've been making some noise in that. So, we're still doing that. That's going to be ending here real soon. And then once that's over, I mean, I'm ready for whoever, whatever, just ready to continue to excel in my career.
For sure. You've had an interesting career so far, because even though you're 6-0, your 6-0 is not like a regular 6-0. Like, I know your last fight, you fought in Odessa, Texas. You won the NABA title. The guy that you beat actually wound up fighting one of Robert Garcia's prospects, Chop Chop Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because like I looked at your amateur record, and you beaten a lot of guys who are on TV fighting, so you can clearly fight.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But you don't have a big promoter of your own yet. So talk to the promoters, man. Tell them who Joseph might say, like, what are they getting if they signed you?
Man, what are they getting? They're getting, somebody who's disciplined, somebody who works hard. I live in the gym, I eat, sleep, I box, I live in Vegas, the city of the sin, but I'm not with the party life. That's not my focus, man. I'm a true believer in God and my faith, and I just believe that I will manifest everything that I'm working for. So they can sleep on me now, but in due time, my time's gonna come and they're gonna wake up.
Okay. And you mentioned being disciplined. Now, one thing I've learned about you, we've basically been living together for a week or so here in camp, is you're like really meticulous about your food. Like, about the nutrition facts and all the effects of like what you put in your body. Like you're pretty much like the Mexican American, like Chris Algieri.
Yeah,
the way you talk about that. Your nutrition, your love of nutrition, and where that all comes from.
Yeah, I mean, I just I love food, man, and with me, I love healthy food, but of course, I like the unhealthy food as well. But it's all a balance for me, and of course, I like to maintain my nutrition, count my calories, and I just want to put the right food and nutrition in my body so I'm able to perform at my best, and it doesn't have to be boring foods. I mean, you see what I'm cooking, sweet potato, beets, all these different things that taste good and are excellent for you. Yeah, Chef Bendito, man, don't sleep on me.
The avocado toast.
The avocado toast king, man, I live off that, so it's foods that I enjoy, that I love, and gives me the right energy I need to be the best version of myself.
I used to call Chris Algieri the avocado warrior, then I met you, and then I realized you're the real avocado warrior.
Yeah, for real. Every day, man, with the sweet potato, my famous sweet potato, man, I live off that, Yeah, I love it.
The beets with the hint of cinnamon.
Yeah, the cinnamon's the key, bro.
Okay. How would you classify, like, if you had to describe how you fight to someone who's never seen you box before, how would you describe your style?
I would say, that's a good question. I would definitely say a counterpuncher.
Yeah.
I'm better going off the back foot. Yeah, I could bang, I could fight on the inside when I need to. But when somebody's coming at me, throwing punches, being aggressive, you know, that just plays into my game. You know, I love to counter punch, you know, work off the jab. I got excellent head movement, you know, excellent feet. You know, your feet is the first line of defense, and that's something that I've really, you know, established in my fighting game.
You mentioned counterpunching. I know your favorite fighter is Juan Marquez.
Yes.
Why is he your favorite fighter?
Well, first and foremost, I mean, you know, I'm Mexican, he's Mexican, and to me, he's the best Mexican fighter there ever was. You know, I know everybody says Chavez, but in my eyes, it's Marquez, man. You know, he really fought so many champions, beat a lot of champions, you know, lost as well, but came back from those losses. And of course, he knocked out the legend Manny Pacquiao, was, you know, I would say is his best win in his career. But, you know, just his style, man. Not only is he a smart counterpuncher, but when you bring the dog out of him, he'll fight. And I feel like that's with me too. You know, if you bring that dog out of me, we can get down, but I'm always going to be smart at the end of the day.
And one thing about Marquez is he didn't let boxing retire him. He retired from boxing.
Exactly. Yeah, he's an inspiration for sure.
Big inspiration. Yeah, I know also too, like I mentioned, like one of the guys you found in the amateurs who's making a lot of noise right now is Bruce Carrington. What do you remember about those fights?
They were great fights. They were great fights. You know, the first time I fought Shushu, I was very inexperienced as an amateur. You know, I was still coming up. You know, my amateur career kind of started late. You know, I had my first national tournament at 19. When I fought him, for the first time I was about 20. But we fought 3 times. You know, we're 2-1. He beat me twice. I beat him once. But when I beat him, you know, I had already gained a lot of experience in a short amount of time. But every fight was a great fight. You know, it was a pleasure to be in there with such an, you know, decorated amateur and now, you know, outstanding professional. So, you know, that he's a hell of a fighter.
Okay. And apart from him, I know you got wins over, was it Charlie Shee in the amateurs? I saw Aaron Aponte beat him. He's from my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
You fought Keyshawn Davis. I know you had some close fights.
Yeah,
in the amateurs. How about those fights?
Oh, all those fights were great, you know. In every single one of those fights, I was always the underdog because I was that kid that was like, I came up out of nowhere in the amateurs, you know. I wasn't training or fighting in the amateurs since I was a little kid, you know. Like I said, I started late. So when I came up, man, they were just like, who is this kid? But, you know, I started beating all these guys and they started to recognize my skill and my talent. And I feel like the same thing's going to happen in the pros. They don't know who I am yet, but it's only a matter of time until I come up and they find out who I am.
Okay. I know one thing due to like your amateurs and your experience in the amateurs. I know you didn't take boxing too seriously at one point, and then later on coming up, you started getting those wins. Do you regret like not taking it serious from an earlier age?
Not at all. You know, I look back, I don't regret anything in life because every trial and tribulation that I went through, you know, developed me into the person I am today. So, you know, mentally, I love the person I am, you know, the character that I have. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. And yeah, I'm 27, you know, I'm not the youngest professional, but I still feel young at heart. I take care of myself. That's why I'm so big on nutrition. And I got years left in me, man. So they're going to find out soon what I'm about.
Yeah, and apart from your amateur career, you got in a lot of work being in Vegas, you know, the fight capital of the world. There's a lot of world-class fighters there. We're obviously with a world-class fighter, Angelo Leo. I'll start with him. You guys been sparring for years. I've seen pictures from you were a sparring partner for Tremaine Williams when he won his first world title.
Yeah.
And I heard when you guys are talking, you haven't really sparred much since then. Now you're his sparring partner for now.
Yeah.
Second, you know, really big world title fight he's had. What's it been like knowing him and sparring him over the years, and what do you remember about that camp, and I guess what has it been like this camp?
Man, you know, me and Angelo go way back, and he's always been a hell of a fighter, a genuine guy. His whole family, you know, they've always just, you know, treated me with respect. They're great people, and I've always known him. He's worked hard. He's always had the discipline. He's always been focused, you know. He's never let distractions get in the way of his career. And he's a hell of a fighter. I mean, you know, I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to beat Venado Lopez. And I've seen the growth over the years, you know. We've seen each other grow, you know, from sparring the last time to this time. So, you know, I'm confident that he's going to pull off the win. And he's going to continue to put the featherweight division on notice that he belongs.
What is it about him when you're in the ring? What is it about him in the ring that makes him so difficult to deal with that we, you know, on the outside can't see? Because you're in there in the trenches with him. So what's like his best quality?
He's resilient, man. That's I feel like that's one of his best qualities. He's resilient and he's smart, you know. I feel like people are sleeping on his intelligence in the ring. He's not in there just throwing bullshit punches, you know. He knows what he's doing. He's setting shots up, and he's strong, man. He's strong. He's always in shape. So it's a difficult style to deal with. But yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of his career.
Okay. You know, like you've also sparred a lot. I mean, Brandon Figueroa is another one. I know he's down there pound for pound a lot.
Yeah.
Liam Wilson, you were his sparring partner for the Oscar Valdez fight.
Yeah.
How about those two guys?
I mean, Figueroa, that's another guy who, you know, is another strong featherweight. That's some of the toughest sparring I've also had, you know, sparring in Vegas and training in Vegas. Liam Wilson was great work, you know, great fighter. Just, you know, it's all been great work for me, man. Great experience, you know, because I'm not just sparring these guys, you know, 3-4 rounds. I'm going 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds when me, myself, you know, I barely fought my first 8-rounder. So, you know, I'm an 8-round fighter, you know, 10-round fighter, but I'm already sparring champions going rounds, you know, so it's been amazing.
Okay. And as far as you, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, because you mentioned you've been knowing Angelo for years. I saw that I know he was there that day that he had that infamous sparring session with Murodjon Akhmadaliev.
Oh yeah.
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 You know, I watched that this morning actually a little bit.
Okay.
And I know it went viral because, you know, he kind of rushed you and you got dropped early on.
Yeah.
But even back then, like, if you go back and you watch the sparring in its entirety, you still maintain your composure and you box really well. What do you remember about that sparring session? And if he's still there when you become a contender, would that be a fight that interests you in the future?
Definitely a fight that interests me. You know, that's a dream fight for sure, just because we have that, you know, not beef, but
history.
We've had that history. Yeah, that history. And I remember that sparring session like it was yesterday. You know, I was still coming up in the amateurs. I wasn't, you know, too experienced yet. I was still a little green, but I was good. You know, I had the skill, the talent. But I remember him clipping me, man, in like the first 30 seconds of the round, and he caught me, you know, and that was the first time I had ever been knocked down, you know, in sparring, in a fight, whatever. So it taught me a lot about myself, because I mean, I got up, I shook it off, and I was like, let's go, I'm ready to go again. So, you know, I got up, I did my thing, I finished the rest of the rounds, and, you know, I showed that I belong in there. I have the heart.
I know you also mentioned wanting to fight somebody like Sam Goodman. How do you see
Goodman,
something like that going down?
Yeah, these are all names. There's a few guys, you know, that, you know, soon I want to see in the ring. I mean, you got Sam Goodman. You got, what's the other guy? I think Ramon Cardenas. MJ. Marlon Tapales. You know, I've sparred him as well. So, yeah, these are all definitely guys that in the future, you know, I would love to see them in the ring.
What about maybe some of the younger guys that are close to you in experience, like I know like Cashflow Diaz, maybe like Max or Ornelas.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of guys. I know you probably know those guys.
Yeah, I know these guys, you know, and hey, if I got into the ring with them, it would never be anything personal. You know, they're great fighters, but I mean, if they're standing in my way, I gotta do what I gotta do. So it's not a fight that I would push to the side, you know. Like I would be willing to fight and, you know, show that I belong.
Would it be a fight that you would like to have like somewhere in Vegas? Because from knowing you, I know when there was amateur events, you would pack it out. So I know that over here in Vegas, you would probably pack out the whole east side.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I have a lot of support in Vegas. So, you know, people have been just dying for me to fight in Vegas. They're just patiently waiting. So when the time comes, yeah, when I fight in Vegas, whoever it is, whether they're from Vegas or they're not from Vegas, it's going to be a packed show, and, you know, people are going to be there to support.
Okay. One thing I know about you, just outside the ring, you know, just from spending time with you, is you're very there's no filter with Joseph. There's Joseph is an authentic guy.
Yeah, man.
You know, where do you think your authenticity and your personality comes from?
I would say the experiences that I've been through in life, you know, the things I went through, the trials I went through, you know, middle school, high school, you know, I had a lot of setbacks, ups and downs, and just, you know, all those things that I went through. And not only that, but God, man, God molded me into the person I am today. And, you know, I give him all the glory for that. You know, I thank him every day that I'm able to, you know, chase my dreams, you know, grind, train, do what I love, you know, considering everything that I've been through. So that's what it is and who I am.
If you don't mind speaking on it, what type of setbacks are you referring to?
You know, as a juvenile, you know, I was in the system. I was on juvenile probation for like 5 years. So even though I was boxing during that time, when I wasn't in the gym because my dad was forcing me to be there, I was in the streets, you know, just doing dumb shit, man. And I had to learn the hard way, but thankfully, you know, I figured it out before I became an adult. And, you know, Fortunately, I didn't go to jail, but I was in juvenile system, in and out of juvie, different placements. So, you know, it was a tough period in my life, but I got through it. And after that, you know, I just, you know, started doing what I love, started chasing my dreams, and realized what I was supposed to do and who I am.
And God's used it to forge your character, make you a better man. So.
Exactly. And, you know, I definitely want to spread, you know, the knowledge and the inspiration that regardless of what you go through in life and, you know, what you've done in your past, that doesn't make, you know, that doesn't define your future, who you are as a person. You know, your future is who you create yourself to be.
What's your favorite Bible verse, Joseph, if you don't mind me asking?
Bible verse, Proverbs 3:5, man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and acknowledge him in all your ways.
Make your path straight.
And he will direct thy path, you know. So I live by that every day, you know, regardless of the situations I go through in life. I trust in God, and, you know, what God wants, that's what's meant to be. It's God's will, not mine. So, you know, I'm just here to fight, do what I love, and fight for him and spread that message.
There you go. All right, Joseph. Well, I know we started to go train today. Got to spar and whatnot.
Got to spar.
Before we go do that, look, any final message you want to drive home about just your career and where you're at? Maybe message to anybody out there in the boxing industry or the boxing fans about, you know, yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned on my career. You know, I got some good things coming. You know, everything in God's timing is gonna work out. You know, I believe in myself as a fighter. I know I have the skill, the talent, the discipline, and the work ethic. So, you know, just keep an eye out. I'm coming, man. I'm coming with everything that I got. You can follow me on social media, on Instagram, Joseph Macedo 96 _. I'm on Facebook, Joseph Bendito Macedo. TikTok, Real Joseph Macedo. So, you know, I'm making a name for myself. I'm coming up, and it's only a matter of time. So just stay tuned.
There you go. Super bantamweight, you're on notice. There you go. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.